Hello everyone, I'm Manuel, the FluencyBringer, and this is episode 26 of the Fluency Podcast. In today's episode, we're gonna talk about words that do not have an exact English translation. Learning Spanish is tough, right? There are just too many words that you have to learn. And there are even some words that make no sense in English, especially because they don't have any direct English translation. But you know, if you learn these words earlier on, then it becomes easier to learn Spanish along the way. So today I'm going to teach you about 8 words in the Spanish language that make no sense in English because they don't have any direct English translation. The first word or phrase that is very important to know because it has no direct English translation is te quiero. This little phrase can become very troublesome if you're a very expressive person and you get to love someone in a short time and you want to say I love you. But you don't use te quiero for saying I love you because this phrase means I care about you rather than I love you. If you do want to say I love you to your partner though, then you have to say te amo instead, okay? Te amo, not te quiero. Te quiero means I care about you, so it's less than love, okay? The second word that doesn't have a direct English translation is sobremesa. This word refers to the after-dinner conversation Latin Americans have at the table after they finish having their meal. It could be translated into English as the time people spend at the table talking after eating. The third phrase that you have to learn because it doesn't have a direct English translation is vergüenza ajena. Sometimes when someone next to you falls down in front of a lot of people, you may feel more embarrassed than if it had been you. And that is what Latin Americans know as vergüenza ajena or pena ajena. It could be translated into English as, I feel really embarrassed for him or her. The fourth phrase that you got to know because it doesn't have a direct English translation and is also very common is Buen Provecho. Saying Buen Provecho to people who are about to eat is not only polite, but it is a phrase that Latin Americans use a lot, especially to those who are going to eat, to those who are sitting at the next table in a restaurant, and to those who remain seated eating when they have already finished. It could be translated into English as, enjoy your meal. The fifth word that you got to know because it doesn't have a direct English translation is empalagarse or quedar empalagado, which can happen to you easily when you eat too much chocolate cake, but there's no specific word to define this sensation. It could be translated into English as the unpleasant feeling after eating too much sweet things. The sixth word that we're going to learn today is estrenar. This word is used when you're excited to wear your brand new clothes for the first time, even if it's just a pair of socks. Estoy estrenando ropa could be translated into English as I'm wearing these clothes for the first time. Now, for the seventh word that doesn't have a direct English translation, we have anteayer. Anteayer is a short and precise word that Latin Americans use to mean the day before yesterday. And if they're feeling too lazy and want an even shorter word, they say anteayer. In English, it is simply the day before yesterday. And finally, the last word that we have today that doesn't have a direct English translation is consuegro and consuegra. In Spanish, we have an exact word to define every relative. The sister-in-law, the son, the second cousin, the mother-in-law, the niece, etc. And consuegros could not be missing. But in English, there is not such a word that defines this degree of kinship. It could be translated into English as the father-in-law or the mother-in-law of one's son or daughter. Hey everyone, so I hope that you enjoy learning about these new words that do not have a direct English translation and you can start using them in your daily conversations in Spanish. See you in another episode of the Fluency Podcast. Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to us today. If you really liked this episode and you want to get more exclusive content or monthly group coaching to improve your Spanish skills, you can go to our Patreon and support us there. We will really appreciate it.